Okay, so for today, I'm going just to give a little introduction about the topic. And then since I was told to discuss about NLP, I would also like to discuss a bit about the difference between NLP or natural language processing and the Gen AI or generative AI. Ethical use of AI or NLP, efficient use. Again, allow me to use it in two areas, education and in the workplace. No specific industry. And when we say industry, I won't talk about its application in the hospital or in banking or in, let's say, oil and gas, etc. So I'll choose education and work because I think some of the, or a good percentage of the attendees are students and the others are newly graduates as well, and a future of NLP in the industry. What is NLP? NLP, or the natural language processing, it's a field of AI that focuses on the interaction between the human language and the computers. So it involves processing and analyzing large amounts of natural language, such as data or such as text and speech, and that it extracts the meaning and enable the communication between the humans and the machine. I will not be talking about very technical details about NLP. I believe, and I've mentioned this to Richard, let the technical one be mentioned by the next, be discussed by the next technical speaker. So how does the NLP work? And in NLP, excuse me, this involves breaking down a text into smaller components like words or phrases or sentences. So it understands grammatically the structure, or there is a certain syntax and the actual meaning, or the semantics. So the purpose of this is it helps AI models accurately process the text. So NLP uses is a model used to accurately process the text. It identifies keywords, the relationship between the meanings, and it facilitates a better comprehension of the human language. So even if you say, let's say the correct sentence is, my name is Irene Corpus. Even if you say name Irene Corpus, it understands something like that. Okay. So in context of learning, this refers to the NLP's capability to enhance its understanding by learning from past data or interaction or conversations. It allows AI to interpret the context of the sentences. It adapts responses also based on interactions, and it improves the accuracy and relevance over time. So the NLP is a broader field. It's a broader field of AI, and it is focused again on interpretation of human language. It can interprets it such that the machine and the humans develop an understanding of what they are talking about. It converts one language to another. Even for that one, it can do. There's a speech recognition. It converts broken words into text to speech as well, converting written texts into spoken words. What are examples of this NLP tasks? Classification, sentiment analysis. So if you're going into some website, you will see a small icon at the bottom right, like a robot that has a headset. No, this is the chat bot. So sometimes if you are interacting with the chat bot, the way you enter, let's say, your text, it can analyze whether you are happy, you are sad, you are frustrated. This is what it says. It means when you say sentiment analysis. It can do language translation as well and summarization. So the NLP can use both a statistical method and deep learning to process your language. It makes making it a fundamental for a range of applications, including Grammarly and Google Translate or translate.google.com and other search engines. Okay, so what are these examples of NLP models? You have the voice assistant like Alexa. If any one of you own the Alexa, you know that when you say Alexa, play the Spotify, and then it will play your Spotify. There's also the Siri or the Google Assistant. Sometimes even if you just put your phone near you and you speak, there is a cue wherein this voice assistants will initiate. The language translation tool, you have a Microsoft Translator and you also have a Google Translate. It's translate.google.com. No? At the a very early time when the Google Translate was implemented or launched, it doesn't have it creates a poor translation. Sometimes, since I communicate with various offices globally, and I see a communication that is in different languages, I copy and paste it in the Google Translate. But when it translates it, it's like you won't understand anything. But right now, it is very high in terms of accuracy of translation. You can read, you can understand the context of the discussion because it creates a better translation at this time. Especially here in the UAE, I get some communications that are written in Arabic, not only in Arabic and then English text, but Arabic language itself. When I paste it in the Google, now I'm able to understand the content. Another NLP tool is the text analytics. I'm not sure whether you have heard of the IBM Watson. The IBM Watson, there's also AWS Comprehend and the Microsoft Azure Text Analytics. And there is the sentiment analysis API or application program interface like the Monkey Learn or Alien. Chatbots, I've mentioned earlier, not only in some, but there are a lot of applications right now or websites. Instead of having a real human to interact with the customers, now they implement an AI chatbot. This allows the company to have a simplified communication. Sometimes we see it as a simplified communication because there are already predefined questions or the FAQs, and the chatbot will reply according to the predefined question. Even the question, sometimes you will see, how can I help you today? And then there are already options of the questions. If you click on that, there is already a predefined answer. However, if your answer is not, your question is not satisfied, in the end, there is hopefully not all of them, but some of them will still say option, give an option to talk to a human. And that is the time where you will be engaging with the humans. So these are the virtual agents and other NLP tools, the grammar and spell checker. I use Grammarly when I am creating formal emails or when I'm documenting, let's say, policies. Part of my work is policy, cyber policy development. So before I submit it for review, I make sure that it is properly written, grammarly correct, even the punctuation, the comma, the semicolon. These are very important when you are creating a document that will be published in public and be used by the public. And in fact, even the Grammarly now can be integrated with your MS Word or your word processor. No, there is an option also. Even without the Grammarly, in MS Word, there is an option to review the grammar or spell checker. So that is for NLP. But before I move forward, I wanted to put something that relates to GPT because they are similar, but there is still a difference. There is a difference between NLP or natural language processing and the GPT. Now, GPT, let's look at the sprints to 1 million users. Netflix took 3.5 years to reach 1 million. There's also the Kickstarter 2.5 and Twitter 2 years before it reached 1 million users. The Facebook, it took 10 months to reach 1 million users. Spotify, it reached 5 months to reach 1 million. Instagram, 2.5 months. Okay, so it took 5 days only when ChatGPT was officially launched, to reach 1 million users. Okay, now what's the difference between NLP and generative AI? ChatGPT is just one of the generative AIs. NLP, interaction between human language and computer. So it involves processing, analyzing large amounts of natural language data, such as text and speech, and extract the meaning and enable communication between the humans and the machines. No, the generative AI, on the other hand, the focus is that it specifically creates a new content, including text, images, or audio and code. It emphasizes on producing new outputs rather than just understanding or analyze the existing input. So functionally, it typically uses deep learning like transformers, the GPT. So whoever mentioned generative pre-trained transformer, then that's what it is. Chat GPT is a Gen AI. It generates coherent and contextually relevant text. There is also another deep learning model like the diffusion model. It is used in generating images and other visual media. For those of you who are using the Chat GPT, you will see on the upper left side that if you click one icon or button there, it will show you other GPTs that are integrated with the OpenAI. You can see DAL-E for images, and there's also Jukebox, I think, Junebox, whatever, for music. So there's the GAN, or Generative Adversarial Network. This is used for image synthesis, video creation, and other types of creative content. Let's talk about what else? Deepfake technology. So how it works? It uses the GAN, by the way, GAN. For deepfake, it creates highly realistic synthetic images or videos of people, making it appear as if someone is saying or doing something that they haven't. Again, make yourself aware or educated, read and listen to the news, not only in the country, not only in the Philippines, in the region, Asia region, and globally. You may have seen a lot of deep fake that has been done with, let's say, President Obama, former President Obama, Bill Gates, a lot of other celebrities. This deepfake are using the GAN, or generative adversarial network. In the GAN, there is the discriminator, the generator, and the discriminator. So the generator, this is the one that creates the fake images or videos of the person, while the discriminator, this evaluates this creation to distinguish them from the real videos. So the two models, they compete and improve over time. And unfortunately, it's resulting in increasingly realistic deepfakes. Um, let's see the next one. So, covering this, very important for us to know is that there are ethics and principles in AI, and these are ethical consideration in AI integration. Um, there are many companies now who are adapting and implementing the AI, integrating them in their day-to-day work. There was the recent GITEX. It's a 1 week technology event, and a lot of applications, AI applications, have been launched there, mostly by either private or government entities. And some of these are, let's say, procurement applications, really designed for them, and HR applications. So these HR applications, they already embed the information from the employees. It analyzes the necessary training required for the employee, especially after the performance appraisal at the end of the year. It should come out with the training that would fill in the gap in skills and knowledge of the individuals. Also, that is based on the objectives and let's say the job description that's written for the employees. So some of the ethical considerations when you do AI integration are human centric. Um, Although AI has the potential to significantly enhance decision or human decision, AI becomes more integrated into our daily lives. It's crucial to ensure that it is designed and implemented, but aligned with this key principle. Um, being in a human centric AI or integrated with human centric principle in mind. And let's give an example, an AI assistant designed to aid doctors by providing suggestions. They provide suggestions, not making the decisions. It still keeps the control in human hands. So it ensures this human centric, it addresses um, that the AI complements the human roles, only enhancing the safety and decision making rather than replacing the human judgment. Transparency and explainability. What can we give here as an example? A financial AI tool, for example, it shows users why a loan was approved or denied, explaining the criteria and the logic for this decision. So it helps users understand an AI decision, increasing the trust and enabling also informed decision making. So if you notice, decision making still lies into the hands of the humans. Fairness and non-discrimination. This is what's very important for me. An AI, for example, hiring tool. I mentioned about HR earlier. So an AI hiring tool um, audit audited to ensure it doesn't favor any gender. So this is an example. It doesn't favor any gender, any race, or background in candidate selection. Very familiar tayo that if you submit your CV, it has your picture. To me, I don't need to put my picture because at this time, you should know that whether it is AI or whether it is human, your looks or your gender or your race or your nationality, even your religion, should not be the basis for you to be hired in a position. The same thing for AI. It should be fair and non-discriminative. It prevents biases. It should prevent biases that could lead to unfair treatment or discriminatory outcomes. Privacy and privacy protection. Safeguarding privacy and ensuring robust data governance practices. Example, a healthcare chatbot. It anonymizes user information to prevent misuse of personal health data. For this one, it addresses the protection of user data from unauthorized access and ensure compliance with a data protection regulation. In EU, we have the GDP. In EU, there's the GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation. In the Philippines, there's also the data protection law or policy. It was given or mentioned at the opening of this webinar. Accountability and oversight. So this means clear accountability mechanism for AI, advocating for responsible entities to be identifiable and held accountable. So example is an AI surveillance system with a human review process to monitor and verify any flagged behavior or alerts. It addresses or ensures that responsibility for AI's action, allowing for correction of errors and accountability in deployment. This one, if I may just inject something that I read just an hour before the webinar started. There's a 14-year-old teenager in the US who committed suicide, and the lawyer or the parents now are suing the platform because it turned out that the 14-year-old started engaging or interacting with the chatbot. So the teenager is a boy and started interacting with a chatbot who happens to be a character of a female. And then, cut it short, he fell in love with the chatbot. And then you can just Google that, please. Can AI be blamed for the suicide of 14-year-old? Try to read the news. It will show there that the last chat that he had with the chatbot is that, I hope I can come to you now. And the chatbot said, I'm waiting for you. If you can come now, something like that. Okay. Try to Google it. Fresh news. So AI in general, so there are distinct considerations. Reason why I talk about NLE first and then the GPT is to determine the distinction between the two. AI, generative AI, again, is there's a content authenticity. Generative AI has a concern about misinformation, deepfake, or fake creation. In terms of usage restriction, there must be safeguard to prevent the use of Gen AI in creating misleading or harmful content. That's why the responsibility or RAI, responsible AI, not only the use but also in development is very important. On the other hand, the NLP, the consideration there is the accuracy in interpretation. NLP needs to be accurate and context aware to avoid misinterpretation, especially in critical applications like legal or medical text analysis. I recently actually just got out from the hospital, and when I was reading all of the results, especially the blood test, the ultrasound, and the other tests, it mentions at the end that the result is generated through voice recognition. So when the doctor was doing, let's say, an ultrasound or a CT scan, it has a microphone. It talks, it speaks, and interprets what he or she was seeing during the process of the ultrasound or the CT scan. And that gets translated to a medical report. But at the end, it will say that that was generated by a text a transcription or a voice transcription. It is very important then that the doctor will have to read and evaluate the content of that medical report. Now, let's look at secure AI integration in education and workspace. When we say secure AI integration and in education and the workspace, it depends on how you are implementing the AI. So, do you implement it coming from the platform itself, or you're going to implement it in your own platform or in your own environment? AI in application in education can for the students, AI can assist in providing personalized learning experiences. For the faculty, it's automatic grading and also improves actually um, student engagement. However, AI must be integrated securely to minimize the risks. So AI application in the workspace can automate, on the other hand, so education, let's say in the workplace, it can automate routine tasks, improve productivity, and even identify patterns in data. In cybersecurity, we have those of you who are working in IT operations or security operations, there's what we call SOC, Security Operations Center. Most of the tools that are being used in there are already AI enabled, like the SIEMs, Security Incidents and Events Management. It already correlates data and gives you a meaningful insight. If there is anything happening in the environment, it will tell or mention that there is something happening. Therefore, it is only now the security officers' decision to look and analyze that data. But definitely, the bigger part of data analysis and the patterns is already done by the AI. So this improves productivity and more efficient in addressing a situation. AI also in workplace has to have a corresponding AI use policy. If any one of you here company are implementing AI, make sure that you have a governance and policy in place. In last year in April, Samsung Electronics, there was an employee who inadvertently leaked sensitive company information by using ChatGPT. And we know ChatGPT, it's still continuously improves. No, if there's anything that is, let's say, unusual and reported by the end users, they listen to that. And one of the things that I heard as well in the chat GPT is someone complained that why is somebody else's discussion or communication coming out in my GPT? You're checking in or logging in when you're using chat GPT, so you are expecting that most communications are coming from your previous entries as well. But at a certain point, somebody complained that or raised a concern that somebody else's discussion is coming into his GPT. So that's the case in the Samsung. There was an engineer who input a confidential data, including source code, internal meeting notes, into the AI tool. It led to the information being stored in the external server. So, in response, the Samsung prohibited the use of Gen AI like the chat GPT on company devices and network to prevent data leaks. So again, very important when you implement AI, make sure that there is a governance and policy in place. If you are using an AI, make sure from time to time to check on those ethics and principles that I mentioned earlier: transparency, accountability, non-bias, human-centric. So let's look in education. How is it applied? Personalized learning. The adoption of AI in education really raise questions about the future role of universities and faculty. But here's how AI application complement rather than replace the traditional education structures. Question there is, will we still need universities or faculty? There are students here, right? There are faculty in here. So will we still need university or faculty? Personalized learning in AI enhances the learning experience. It adapts the content to individual student needs and learning styles. So what is the role of the faculty? I'm also an adjunct faculty, so I'm saying, will they still need me? So teachers and professors still play a crucial role in the guiding, mentoring, and facilitating a deeper understanding and critical thinking and creativity, no? Elements that AI alone cannot achieve. In terms of automated grading, AI can automated grading for routine assignments, saving the faculty time to focus more on complex student support. So it's more on the personal relationship and support and mentoring to the student. And the grading is repetitive task, something that can be given to an AI. But make sure for those students, when you learn that your grade is now being automated through AI, make sure that the faculty, and I also call the attention of the faculty, the decision is still yours, and please take care of reviewing the results of the AI. Now, the role of the faculty, more on human oversight to ensure the grading accuracy, the fairness, and to provide a personalized feedback, especially for subjective assignments. No? AI in the workplace, it's the automation of routine tasks like here in the Zoom, there's already the automatic AI, let's say, note taker. It creates the transcripts and it can actually, to some application, the Slack, it can identify the to-dos or action items, even identifies can depending on the workflow integration, it can even identify who are the action owners and the due dates. So it will create a notification that a certain action item discussed and agreed on the meeting is already due or is assigned to an individual. So what are the opportunities for staff in an AI enhanced workplace? There are new AI driven roles. AI integration creates role like AI trainers or data analysts or AI implementation specialists or even ethics officers. So huge or bigger organizations, when they implement AI, they also integrate new roles like this in their organization. Imagine ethics officers is a part of an organization now. It's a new role when there is a heavy implementation of an AI. This is where you will see how they try to take it seriously, especially in implementing the ethics and principles. So the focus now on the individuals or the staff is on strategic and creative work. But AI enabled decision support is there. However, the final decision will still lie on the individuals, the staff, most especially the leadership. Skills development and upskilling, this is very important. Let let's forget the our fear before, maybe 5 years ago or even more, that AI or the robots will replace us. Only those who don't know how to use the AI will be replaced. Now there are requirements in some. Just try looking at job opportunities on LinkedIn, for example. You will find and skills and knowledge that were not there before. Even for marketing and social media, try to look at the requirements. What are these requirements that were not there before? Imagine um, sometimes they are looking for social media influencer. That is now a new skill that can be integrated by a company when they are looking for for marketing and sales individuals. Even the use of TikTok, no? Depending on the position or the job that you are applying for. Look at these skills that are looking for enabled what you call this companion working together with an AI. New graduates, my advice to you as well, try to look at use your LinkedIn, because when you apply for a job, the LinkedIn is already has an AI enabled classification or qualifying you already how many of your skills meet the skill requirement of the job that is being posted. And from there, you will know what are the skills that you need to upskill or whether you need to reskill. So preparing for the future, to effectively prepare for the future with AI, individuals need to focus on this area. Develop AI literacy. It involves continuous learning about the new AI development, the tools and best practices, which will help the you as an individual to stay informed and capable of using AI effectively in your role. So very important. It is not asking you to, let's say, move to another role, but stay informed and how AI can help you in your or be effective in your role. The ethical awareness, it is equally critical. Staying updated with the AI ethics, the regulations, guidelines, and ensure that AI is used responsibly, protecting you as a user and your organization from potential risks. And lastly, adaptability. It is essential for integrating emerging AI tools and approaches. We cannot get away with AI anymore. And in one conference, in one last week in the GITEX, I was one of the panelists, and one of the audience asked me, "How can we stop AI?" And I said, "Why will you stop AI?" Right? And he said that there are his point of view, and highly respected that, is there are now a lot of he feels that AI integration is creating some, not more, okay, some chaos, and it is a what do you call it, detrimental rather than beneficial. So I asked him, did you stop smartphones when you were still using a Nokia 3210? Okay, so were you able to stop the evolution of smartphone at that time? And did you ask if you can stop the development of further or of smartphone or further enhancing smartphone? So AI is there, you have to embrace it, and you have to live with it. Again, I also do consulting, and at one point, I love giving opportunities. I love mentoring. At one point, I have to take someone in the Philippines for a job, for a task. Um, just also to give an experience of how it is working in the UAE, but remotely. And my question is, how good are you in using ChatGPT? Okay. And I said, use the chat GPT because I know he doesn't have the right level of skills, but using the chat GPT will help him learn what is the subject. He has a certain idea of the subject, the task, but coming out of the outcome itself, I would still prefer someone who knows how to use GPT. If you don't know it, use the GPT, you will learn from it and you will increase your knowledge from it. So don't say that. To me, if anyone says, "Huh, chat GPT, now I'm not using my brains." No, you use your brains together with the GPT. Okay? We still say that in the end, we need our brains to work. We need our brains to work with the AI. And lastly, again, I cannot get away with this slide because I am in cybersecurity. Remember that there are cybercrime in AI, cybercrime in AI, highlighting how AI can be exploited by malicious actors. AI-driven social engineering. Before we can see, we can determine that there is a malicious email. Now with AI, you will barely notice it. Automated attacks for us, we are very careful about that because AI can automate cyber attacks like credential stuffing or distributed denial of services, network scanning, making them faster and more difficult to detect. There are deepfakes for fraud. AI generated deepfakes can be used for financial fraud, and in fact, um, it was last February or March that a huge company in the UK lost 25 million, I think, double digit in millions, because they approved the release of such fund and they thought it was legit because the adversary even did a Zoom meeting with them, and unfortunately, it was a deepfake CEO. AI generated malware. The AI helps attackers identify high value target. They can predict vulnerabilities and adapt malware tactics by bypassing the defenses. Um, AI generated malware can also create more sophisticated malware capable of learning from detection patterns. So if I am the AI generated malware, I already know that this is how your AI can detect me. Therefore, I can also evade your security measures more effectively. Gathering information, the cyber criminals use the AI to scrape massive amounts of data from public and private sources. Also, reason why I mentioned earlier, very important, be aware about the how your data is being processed, in whatever reason you're using an AI. And data poisoning. So attackers can feed false data into your AI system to manipulate the outcome or degrade the performance. So, in conclusion, there are potential benefits, but there is an importance of being aware of the security as well. Um, Ethical considerations, we have discussed that. There are other principle AI ethics and principles. Be aware of other policies globally, so you are not only informed of what is happening within the country, but be let's say encourage to learn as well how the other countries are implementing it and how you can apply it, maybe not in your own organization, but at least even on a personal level. Sometimes you cannot demand more from the company. This requires budget, this requires big decision, but if you can apply let's say grab the benefits of AI for you personally, enhance your well-being and your profession and your career, then do so. Make sure that you are um, preventing unauthorized access if you can. Do not upload so much confidential and personal information in any of the publicly open AI. And yeah, ethical considerations for workplace, and in education. Maintain fairness, prevent biases, adhere to privacy regulation and ethical guidance, and in AI deployment. And for those of you who also would like to know how to implement an AI governance, put governance, risk, and compliance in your AI implementation, there is already an AI management system, ISO 42001. I'm in the process of getting my ISO 42001 lead auditor, and there's a lot of things to learn from this ISO management system.